Okay, let's play a game. You're gonna hate it. You're in a quick sync with your co-founder and team leads to align on the one priority for the next sprint. And an hour later, you've had the chance to debate the whole roadmap, the competition, the existential threat of the entire industry changing around you, and you walk away feeling... You walk away, so that's great, right? But okay, let's say a decision was made. You've agreed on the next major feature for your product. You feel good, aligned. You give the team a confident, we're on the right track update in the all hands, and maybe you even do the same thing for your investors. But then you start to notice something. Your head of engineering says to his team that you're building for the power user, the one who lives in the app all day and cares about keyboard shortcuts and API integrations and that sort of thing. But your head of sales is directly selling to the budget holder, the one who will never see those features and just needs a dashboard with green numbers and arrows pointing up to justify the expense to their boss. One could argue that's not a huge disagreement. We're still talking about the same feature, right? It's like a 5-degree drift. But here's the thing. That small drift is the difference between building a product people can use and building a product people buy. And in our experience, they are basically never the same thing. Plus, the meeting you just had was supposed to be the silver bullet to get everyone crystal clear on this, so what now? Your aligned team is secretly building 2 slightly different products, and you're paying for both. Okay, that made me nervous saying out loud, so here's some good news. Yes, this is an expensive line item on your P&L that you can't actually see, but there is a way to make it visible and then potentially make it zero. In today's video, we're gonna talk about it. Okay, so why do we walk away from strategy meetings and conversations like this feeling so stuck? It's because your team isn't just arguing about a thing, feature, roadmap, feedback, whatever. You're arguing from completely different altitudes. Imagine a feature on your roadmap being something like a new reporting dashboard. That's clear enough, right? Here's the thing. Your head of sales sees it as a demo tool to close bigger deals. For her, the problem we're solving is proving ROI to enterprise buyers. That's one altitude. But your head of engineering sees the dashboard as a core utility. For him, the problem is giving power users super fast, super accurate data. He wants to build the underlying data pipeline right, even if the first version of the UI is basic. So while sales is showing mock-ups of a beautiful, interactive, tangible thing, engineering is whiteboarding database schemas. One is selling a vision, the other is building a foundation. And that means that you spend a meeting refereeing a debate about Q4 deadlines when the real conflict is whether you're prioritizing one deal over creating 6 months of product debt. My company Basis actually ran into this exact same problem. We asked ourselves, what problem do we solve? Some of us said we fix broken prioritization processes. And that's a real pain, and it's true, but it's a low altitude problem. As we explored more, we realized the real truth. The higher altitude problem our clients face is that they struggle to move quickly and with confidence. For us, fixing prioritization is one tactic, but moving with confidence is the strategic goal. If we just proceeded with the first idea, we probably would have ended up creating something totally different and probably way less valuable. When your team argues about tactics without agreeing on the strategy, you're either stuck or in super risky territory. You need a process to force alignment on the right altitude. Okay, but what does that even mean? The last thing you need is another team offsite and a strategy deck that nobody reads literally even once. Believe me, I know, I get it. For our clients, we actually use a process called the foundation sprint. This is a 2-day workshop designed to get your team aligned at the beginning of any big project. It's not getting everyone in a room because we know where that goes. It's way more tactical than that. It's about creating clarity. And it starts by fixing the single biggest problem in just about every meeting, and that is endless circular talking and debating. Let's revisit our earlier meeting with an example from the sprint. Instead of just yapping, everyone gets a Sharpie and some sticky notes. We ask one of the simplest, most dangerous questions in the business. Of all the customer types that we serve, who is most important? And for 5 minutes, there's silence. Everyone writes their own answer. There's no groupthink, no loudest voice in the room winning the day. We're not going for a mushy consensus or saying yes to whatever the CEO thinks. It's about getting every critical perspective out on the table. Then we put the notes up on display for the critical moment. Suddenly, the secret misalignment isn't a secret anymore. It's not a feeling in your gut, it's a physical artifact. You can see the 5-degree drift right there in plain sight. We don't break out into arguments either. From here, we can have a real conversation, facilitate a decision, and get a shared answer with real alignment. Now, imagine applying that kind of thinking, not just to the basics, but to your highest stakes decisions. Like, what's the best strategic bet you can place your runway on right now? That's how you de-risk a roadmap. That is your new secret weapon. This is the most important lesson that we've learned after running a lot of sprints, both for our clients and on ourselves. The best outcomes never come from perfect ideas. They come from alignment. The foundation sprint can't guarantee success or a perfect solution. There's really nothing out there that can do that. But what it can do is create the ideal conditions for the best possible outcome in a fraction of the time that it would normally take otherwise. The best ideas are almost always living inside your team's heads. They just need help seeing the light of day without getting derailed by politics or the loudest voice in the room. And by the way, if you're the loudest voice in the room, there's no judgment. I am also quite loud. So here's the thing. You're not stuck. You just need a better process. You need to replace the old cycle of opinions with a dose of reality. We ran this exact foundation sprint on our own company and wrote about the 3 biggest lessons that we learned. If you want to see how this process works from the inside, the link to that post is in the description below. Other than that, I hope this was helpful and I'll see you next time.